Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome for say a special connection here. Not what I was expecting, but uh, another visit from Max Spiers, it seems. His connection with Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see here. I understand it's going to come here and there throughout this. Let's see, the character Will that's in Pirates of the Caribbean. It does seem like Max and him have a lot in common. I believe that's a lot that has to do with past lives. So we're going to go into that. Also, though, just go into a little bit of. We're going to go into that. World War II also. That has nothing to do with Max. I did have a connection with Dwight Eisenhower, so he might come through a little bit. The end of all this, we'll see. So it's going to be a mixture of everything. I'm not sure how much is going to come through with Max. We'll see. Well, mostly be current events, but you can. But the Orlando Bloom character, I believe his name is Will. It's something like Max Spiers, of course. Yeah, we'll see what comes through. Oh yeah, the streaming that was last week. I mean yesterday. Did not go through for the chat questions. Had to do something with Zoom had issues, so hopefully tomorrow everything will work fine. I have to shut it down, and open it back up. I believe. I'm not sure what it was. Some Zoom issues, so I was gonna use Zoom today. I was like, screw it. Anyway. All right. Before we get started. Wanted to go into just to give you an update if you're new to all this. As I've been told, our website where you can get private sessions, visit our shop where you can submit questions if you just have a question. My schedule this week has been closed down because I have to focus on work at work. So if you already got a session in, that's cool. For those that submitted questions, mostly by Saturday I should have everything mostly answered by then, just to give it a time frame. Of course, you can apply for a private session here or submit a question, receive an audio file, whatever works for you. Just doing a little walkthrough just in case you're new to all this. Oh yeah, I added a new figure here. I added something to the main page, but I'll just go to the about page. Hey look, it's me. Yeah, I think it was his name, the artist named Love Point. So he drew up a. It's pretty funny. So we have that, and there's a T-shirt on the when we go to the T-shirts, I'll show you, and also added. Where is it? Yeah, the Ivan Teller. So I'm using this on the. I'm putting a lot of this on the site, so. Even when you go to the private session page, I also add the little cartoon guy there too. So it's funny. Also, we have Spirit Social, and you can submit a question, healing consulting. Submit a question from a day. And we have soul painting here available, and we have gift cards and items from Amazon that might be of interest. I'm not sure how much I'm going to add here, but this get you started at least on what to look for, and a purchase through there will help the affiliate sites. Also, we have new T-shirts that I've added. I'm not sure if I'm going to love some of these, but. The unicorn T-shirt. I know that looks kind of rugged, doesn't it? But anyway, that's. Well, let's see how it goes. That men and women's. We have the new. We Are a Spirit shirt. So it's a angel. It's different. And probably the coolest one we have here. We Are Mermaids. That's hard to show it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, that one's really good. Yeah, shirts don't really sell a whole lot or sell at all for that matter. So, uh, but these might. Yeah, this is a neat. This is a good style. So I just felt like adding extras to it, to even if they're not really a seller at all, really. So, but figured now for future. Um, so anyway, so we have these. So if you need to connect with me, of course, those that contact me through the site, I try to get back to everybody, not always. So, of course, sessions or submit a question is usually the easiest. But through contacting me, I try to get, like I said, try to email everybody, but we'll see. Also, I have, yeah, it's been kind of a long day, but since 6 o'clock. And also, I might as well say I might as well make an announcement now because I am working on another social network, just to give you an idea. This one's going to stick around, like the other ones that kind of got rid of. There's all those experiments. This one I'm going to do through Ning, and Ning is under a new management, so I can email the CEO and tell him to make it better because it's not really competitive. Everybody's going to Facebook. Nobody really cares about these other social networks, so it's kind of stupid how Ning is kind of like. I feel like I can work with them, so we'll see. Let me give another shot. I'll make this public when it's ready. It's going to be a while, so it's not like anybody's racing over to it. I mean, this is like my 5th try already, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be in a testing phase for a while, so there's the rumors out. I was going to have another image, cartoon image, but just take a break on all that. So, okay, for Max Spiers. We'll see what comes through. Let's see here. He says he's not exactly like the Pirates of the Caribbean Will, but in some ways he is. There is hidden messages within the film. There's hidden messages about how like spells are put on people here. So there's a lot of hidden messages throughout all the films. Disney itself is a hidden message. So this might not be exactly what some of you are anticipating for him to say. The Will character, from gathering from him, because I wasn't even sure how this is going to go. The Will character is he feels that he connects to that character the most. It's the outsider, kind of born into the situation, and gets roughed up by it all, and gets brainwashed in some cases, doing a lot of voodoo, a lot of, as you can see, I'm not familiar with the movies that much. Kind of, I'm not a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan, but I have the idea of some of it. I've seen reviews of it, not exactly the most positive. Anyway, it's okay. But there's a lot of, as you can tell, manipulations going on in those movies. Like conspiracies. So if you look at these movies and take another approach to them, you'll see it in another way. It's the elites talking to you. They're working through the filmmakers, through creativity. The filmmakers are not aware of what they're doing. They think they're just telling a story, but not aware it's a channeled message to everyone. So even if these movies are absolutely horrible, it doesn't really matter because there's a message hidden within all of them. So if nothing makes sense, there's a reason for it. It's done on purpose. It is basically a cabal. He's saying voodoo is one way of putting it. A control system around our planet. And you can say the pirates are the elite system that's here. And Jack Sparrow is kind of 50-50, kind of good, kind of bad. Not always good, as you can tell, depending on, and that's many soldiers in the military right now. They're kind of 50-50, so in some ways that's kind of representing them. So there's different ways of looking out at this. As for the Will character, he's an outsider, got brought in through, you can say through the family bloodline to a certain degree. But also wanted to you can say expose what's going on. In some cases, that character is doing it, is stirring things up, doing things that are not exactly what you would call normal. To stir things up, to come at it from a different angle. You can say from the audience point of view, and that's technically what he is. He is bringing you into the movie, as you can see. So there's different ways of looking at all of this. As long as so far he's going to go with all this, because a lot of this is going to be cryptic. For good reason. It's just he's basically letting you use your own imagination how far this will go. It's not just Pirates of the Caribbean, it's all movies that are there to distort the reality that you are living in. Yes, the Pirates is shot in, was it the 1800s, old, in your history, but it's actually about modern times. But there's just sometimes very quiet messages there that are not fully clear. A lot of it has to do with, what is this? What is that? I just saw it. I don't know the characters of this movie. I'm gonna have to look them up. He's giving the image, but it's not really. All right, 1 second. He's giving me the image of it, but 1 second. And I got that. Yeah, it's one of the villains. I guess you would call it villains of the movie. Oh yeah, this thing. Octopus-looking thing. Let's that thing. What this is representing is, don't let images deceive you, such as the alien energies here. It's probably best I don't know anything about this movie, actually. It's kind of like these are the aliens trying to reconnect to humans, and showing how humans are rejecting them. And a lot of the story is kind of distorted. It does have something to do with his heart. I believe there's a plot of it about his heart being cut out, something around those. I did see that. But there's much more to it. But it is mostly the aliens trying to reconnect to humans, basically. And don't let images be deceiving. Meaning, yes, there are many of them that look strange, but their messages quickly get distorted. Is because it is manipulations that are going on. So basically, you have greys, you have reptilians, and many of them get misrepresented here all the time. So, like through David Icke saying that all reptilians are villainous, which is not correct. So they're just trying to make this more clear that humanity is being deceived constantly, even being deceived by its own government, which is pretty obvious. Like, meaning the government that you're seeing is not your government, of course. Many of you are already aware of that. There's much more to that, but that is just gives you kind of an idea. Because he kept showing me that image of, I forget the name of it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. See, Hollywood movies are also, of course, there to program humanity, also to put the blown out truth in front of everyone, but then to mark it off as fiction. The Men in Black movies, they did get kind of frightened because some of the people, the Men in Black energies was getting kind of heavy here. Many were believing the stories, and they weren't sure how. The reason they made that movie, obviously the filmmakers want to make money off it, but there's much more that goes on to it. Meaning that there was timelines where the MIB had to fully become more enforcing on humanity. I mean, they saw a timeline where they saw aliens becoming very widespread here, and MIB will have to increase their energies here to become more involved with us. You know, to really, I mean, they already are, but mostly humans program themselves to not believe anything. But there's a timeline where that's not happening, where aliens are all over the place. It's like in the movie. A lot more than that, though. So they made that movie to kind of counter, to move away from that timeline. Not to say it was going to fully hit us, but just to make sure that it was like a spell in some regard. Oh, it's all fake. Don't worry about it. It's all fake. Just to let you know, all these stories are fake. It's all fiction. It's all laughs. Don't worry about it. You know, it was, that movie was made just to, not to say that that was going to truly happen, but just to make sure that we're not going to go into a timeline where more aliens will start popping up. In some cases, we're already going through that, but it's not, they saw a timeline that kind of spooked them, where they felt they're going to, too much is going to be seen here. I don't know, there's some sort of alien alliance that some of the aliens just didn't care anymore. They're just going to start making themselves more known to us. And so this is a way of the cabal trying to move away from that. If some of you are wondering why that movie was ever made, it's kind of odd. It's like, if you think it's all fake, why even bother? But some filmmakers saw it as a story, and of course, the cabal works with money. They're not usually seen. They're not always seen. They can do these things in astral. They can do things hidden, as the government does all the time. So it was to move away from a timeline. Not to, like, you want to say this again, not to say that that was going to fully happen, just to make sure it does not happen. Because they did see future timelines. You know, it was, and the MIB forces have calmed down because they're going to increase their numbers greatly. That timeline where the MIB was heavily here, like a police state, but more MIB agents. And you feel the world has become more alien. There is, I imagine many of you can feel that right now. So that was part of programming humanity to just laugh it all off and just not to worry about it. So that one was kind of in our face. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was, there's a lot of misgivings about that, because basically some of the government wanted to show that aliens are actually friendly. But they kind of scrapped all that one, rather show them as villainous, as you can tell what's in our media. So they were trying to go through one angle one time, and they won't allow the positive to come through anymore. I believe it's Starman to a certain degree, but that wasn't very effective. Close Encounters actually was to a certain degree. E.T. was, you know, just a, they don't care about that. I'm not seeing that. That was like a, and some, he's not going into that. It's kind of like a, what have I got on that? That's for another day. But what he's saying about the Pirates of the Caribbean is this: basically the cabal is the villains in the movie, and your humans is humanity trying to free itself from its clutches, from the dark clutches. You can say it's like the cabal working in secret. But it's not fully in your face as it could be. Yeah, it's going to more of a broad. It's not about him. Is basically where he's getting at. Much more of this will come through. He's just opening the door over so slightly to give you an idea. It's not just this movie, it's others. They're here to programming us, reverse us from opening up more. Happens all the time. Sometimes they put it in your face, as he has said in other, I believe I've seen something where Max Spiers was talking about, what was it, the beach or something like that? I don't know, it wasn't what it was called. Anyway, that wasn't it. Anyway, there was a film that he was talking about. It's not important. Well, if you research him, he's talking about a movie that had a lot to do with the Super Soldier program. The Island. That one's in your face. They're not going to be so blunt anymore. They're going to have more cryptic. Pirates of the Caribbean's cryptic. They're going to keep most of the things cryptic from now on. Bug's Life was cryptic. They're going to do more things like that. They would most likely, even Men in Black was a cryptic film. There's others. Even those that you're not even some are paying attention to. Yeah, right now he's talking about body image, how, well, like the Baywatch film that's coming out has a lot to do with body image. Like, this is what you should look like. Um, like all stupid, but everybody's like a model. So that's kind of, in some ways, that's kind of like the elites here mocking humanity to a certain degree, the negative ones at least, how they perceive humanity. Not very. In some cases, it's in there here and there. But it's also showing how the naive humanity also is to basically, if you want to know of your Earth's history, if more of humanity wants to awaken, you will start to see it. It will be done in art form first, because there'll be enough of you to want that type of information. So it'll go into more of your media. Not enough of them want it right now, so it comes in here and there. It just, the truth, basically. Atlantis, on and on. If more people want it, you can say through astral. A lot of people in astral saying no. The more we want it, more will open up. More of the truths will come through. Such as showing, what is the name of that? The reason he's bringing this up is it's easier to open people up. This stuff is all in our face right now. What is the name of that? It was with Bruce Willis. It was the kid that saw dead people. I can't remember what it was called. Whatever. There's only one that has that, but like that. That was to open people up. Of course, it had a horror feeling around it, but still, it had enough effect that people open up to the spirit world. There's more, obviously, but people are not ready for it. They'd rather be shown in a gumball machine for some reason. That's kind of the mentality here. It's because of the programming that's done here. Many are scared to see the truth, but the truth is on the horizon. There's many spells being done in humanity at this time to dumb people down spiritually, to bring fear, like that alien movies, to bring fear, but also to let you know it's all fake, which is not. Those things actually do exist. In some form or another, they do exist. You can say the parasites are your Illuminati cabal. They're alien. That's out, popping out of people's. That's your cabal wishing to do away with humanity. Wants to just eradicate it. And if they have to come into a creature like that, like a parasite, they will. In some cases, they are disease. I mean, they're that sadistic. And some of them do alter their appearance to look like more of a creature. Like a vampire, he's showing that they do. Some of them do make themselves look very evil, like your devil. But they're not seen. But they do use that type of body chemistry that causes this formalities here. So they are disforming us to a certain degree. So we look inhuman. We don't look normal. How humans are born disformed. That's them experimenting with us, trying to make us look as ugly as possible. And it's just it's baby formula. Jeez. I mean, pretty much nothing's safe here, from what he's saying. You will be fine, of course, because those are coming in. It's like, I don't want this, I don't want that. So you're choosing what you go through. But what we're going through is like a horror show in some ways, but not entirely. But it's a test. This is the horror. He says it's like the horror planet, you could say. This is like the Haunted Mansion, but 100 times worse. from other alien perspectives, this place is just, it's a laboratory, obviously. The elites have lost their minds, obviously, but many are not acknowledging their existence, which gives them power. So the more know of their existence here, but not in a fear way. You can heal them, but you can't be scared all the time. Because if you're scared all the time, it's just not going to work. Yeah, because they can be sadistic, they can be pretty frightening. They usually aren't seen, but you can feel their menacing energy like a creature. Some of them turn into that form. They can. They can do whatever they want. Many of them have destroyed their biology so much, and they're at least they're alien but half human. But they're so, some of them are distorted completely. That's why the Pirates of the Caribbean, how you see the dead there, is very much showing them, but a lot more vicious. That's like a toned down version of it. But think of that around humanity itself. It's like we have you under our clutches, is what pretty much. That's pretty frightening, but people don't want to see that, so they kind of phase that out. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, they're affecting the moon quite a bit. What affects your vibrations? They do have a close connection to it. They do block off a lot of the radiation, positive energies from the moon. They do have like weapons to do this. They kind of weaponize the moon to a certain degree to go against humanity. Meaning when the moon changes, it does cause Earth changes here to a certain degree, but also cause mood swings also. It's only done ever so slightly. Yes, they can do it with the sun energy. Yes, they do it all the time with chemtrails, but also the moon energy they use against us also. So we are being attacked constantly. Even those that aren't awake spiritually, some of them in astral do awaken. It's like, I'm gonna go back in myself. It's like, I'm tired of what you guys are doing. Says what he's showing is like, such as if you have, you're human and you have a baby that dies for no reason, maybe a formula, whatever it is. So that rage goes into astral, and that astral self's like, I'm gonna wake myself up. And there's beings that he shows that come to you. It's like, I don't think so, and they close you down. So when you come back, your like mind's erased of yourself awakening more to what's going on. So that happens a lot, not all the time, but it does happen a lot. It depends. It just shows that the more persistent, the more you are awakened. But some don't want to go through that type of attack because they do come after you. So that's another reason why humans are still asleep, is because they are not always like, I don't. From what I'm feeling is like an astral is like, it's like, yes, we want some want to awaken, some. Am I getting a clear picture of that? But he's showing that a lot are not ready to see the full picture. They're like an astral. Okay, yeah, he shows an astral. You can block things out. So, because I connected earlier about a while back about astrals, like your astral self doesn't always know about your human self. There's our cancers. It's like you like close that part off. It's like, it's just you're not ready to fully let your astral self connect to your human self. It happens a lot, and he's showing that there's beings here that are blocking it, but also humans that just don't want us. They just don't want to. They carry on a lot of their human stuff to astral also. So like they're living their life again, but an astral version of themselves. And it's weird. It's different for everybody. I know it's very strange. It's he says it's a mess. It's, in some way of looking at it, it's a beautiful mess. It's harder than it has to be, but astral goes through a lot of wars because of a lot of stress in it, more than it needs to. The astral of this earth is just, it's intense. Because a lot where you see like space wars or just just all this, your soul being detached from yourself, happens a lot in astral. Meaning they can, from what I'm seeing, is like if you're going to be a real pain to them, they can like clone yourself. When you come back, you have like a whole another version of yourself. They take another aspect of you, put you in. It's like this one will be more. This one will listen to us because you're not listening to us. There's indications of that. I'm not sure. Apparently, there's a hostile environments for that exists. I know it's kind of weird. It gets very, very bizarre. It's just most people aren't going to really connect to it because it's a lot. There's a lot of scientific just insanity that goes on. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to mention about myself. I got a little bit of indication of what happens to me in astral, and I just feel war, and that's why I'm tired all the time. I'm going through something. It's like it feels like that was me talking. It feels like I'm going through a lot of. I'm just fighting a lot of stuff in astral, and just so I can get a message through. You know, so like a lot of these beings can come through. It's like I feel like I'm doing this on a daily basis. It really feels that way. So sometimes I'm just like worn out, just like it's like when you sleep, it doesn't really matter. It's like I really feel like I'm busting. So, which is good. It's just I got that today. So, I mean, I can sleep all I want. It doesn't really matter. I can sleep like 5 hours. I sleep 5 hours, or I can sleep 12 hours. I'll still feel like groggy. So it doesn't really matter. So anyway, that's something I got recently. As for let's see, Max has to say. There's the unbelievable. You allow the unbelievable to connect with you, such as reptilian versions of yourself, gray versions of yourself, and not always going to be humanoid, to connect with you, to open you up more. Many are not ready to see all of that, but it does help. You can always connect to an Andromedan version of yourself. Of course, that's reptilian also. Can be, but most of them are humanoid, but not always. But whatever you feel closest to can open you up. Just give yourself time, but you have other aspects of yourself that are going through kind of like it's basically what he's showing is like there are other aspects are like trying to kind of get you out of a cage, and that's this reality. So some it's different for everybody, but it's what he's showing is like your other selves are. It's like it can be a movie that goes on forever, basically, and eventually this story will be told. It's like your other versions of you. Rick and Morty's not like that. That's more like an ego, your ego self just telling all your other selves to get lost. But this one, the version he is showing is your other aspects are helping you. Because it just, it's not just your guides. Some of you are, yes, the message from your aspects go to your guides. I believe some do have an aspect of themselves as their guide. It does exist. I don't think it's widely popular, because sometimes it does seem like you can convince yourself to do anything, and that's not always a good thing, because you're convincing yourself not to do anything. You know what I mean? It's like it's better to have another. It's just, even if the other somebody else is not always the best, sometimes it's still better than just having yourself all there. That makes sense. But that's not always the case. Some get along with their other aspects where you can learn from each other in a way where you can't, because we can change our guides from what he's showing and like get them to just do whatever we say, even if it's all the wrong stuff. It happens. So it's like I said, it's different for everybody. But Mentor did say that you can make your guides lazy. So you do affect your guide. You are affected by your guides, and your guides are affected by you. So you're blending in your energies together. So sometimes you might turn into your guide and go shop shop till you drop. So, and he's like, you're not into shopping at all. So just give an idea. It's not always the case. Anything else from Max? There's a lot of cryptic messages within Pirates of the Caribbean. As for the Will character, I'll let you sort that out, because there is much there. He doesn't want to go into the full details of it. But there's a lot of that movie can, when those connect, You can always connect to his energy if you like. He'll give you little bits here and there on it. But it's another way of getting attention about what is going on here. Is to get people that are not aware of any of this, to wake them up. Many are going to call it crazy because they've been programmed to believe this is all fake. It's actually it's your spirit world speaking to you also. It's not just your Illuminati. It's much more. It's your spirit world talking to you also. It's like, look, these things are here. Well, it's like he's showing the Pirates of the Caribbean, the dead people walking around. He's showing them. It's like they're here. Open your eyes. It's in your food. It's in your toxic environment that you're living in. Wake up. You might not see it, but it's here. Remember, they transform basically. It's more here than you might realize, and it's just these films are here to talk to you. And just people are just they go by the programming. He's like, I'd rather be programmed than see it for fully is. It's like it's like almost like the film is going like, wake up. It's like it's reaching out to you. Wake up, human. It's like, and the human's like, oh, this is just fantasy. Oh, wait, maybe this is real. No, it's not. Like Star Wars. Oh, maybe this is real. No, it's not. It's just fake. Invisible Man. I believe that's real. I believe that's more real. Jeez. I believe that's a government project, from what I'm feeling. I think it does exist, though. Obviously, time travel is around that. So, all right, Max is going to give me a break now. But you want to that's the gist of it right now. There's more, of course. You just want to give you like a run through. That's just a very slimmed down version of what is to come. You just want to go into will that much, but there's a lot of cryptic. He's also showing numbers within these films also, like if you're feeling numbers or feeling, there's a lot of symbolism that you don't see. You can see it through your third eye, but you can't see it physically. That's going on. It's programmed the mind, and it's like music, whether you're using images, but you don't always see it. You don't always hear it. What he's saying is that most humans are lazy, but fear is part of it. Another part is just some of them are, what's the word? Not ready. It's just some of their souls are just, they're not willing to go to war. In some ways, it's kind of like that. The war with your reality. To distort it, to unravel it. Many are not willing to do that. They rather just go by what's told to them, which makes sense, doesn't it? I'd rather just go by, Jeopardy and Pizza Hut or whatever, or whatever's on television, just throwing all this nonsense, Disney and all this freaking pornography they're selling to kids. What the hell is that? It's a lot of it's just unraveling your reality. It is it can be very exciting, it can be very scary, but it's thrilling. It's just, does the soul want to go through that? Most are not ready. But for those that are, it is great for you to make yourselves known. You're not alone. And the more you do this, the more you will see the real reality. This fourth density, understand that the more that you speak about what you are connected to, you change. And that creeps open the door for the new reality. So the door is shut, but you can push it open ever so slightly. So all of you pushing together pushes the door open. So basically, more that are speaking out. If you don't want to, those ask questions about their spiritual growth. They do it on the webinars. But if you want to do it in private, also that's okay. Whatever, the more you explore, the better, basically. Whatever, because they don't want to put you in a place where you don't feel comfortable with. Some are not. Some are want to channel, but do it quietly, aren't ready to go public with it, even changing their voice or whatever it is. Some are just still learning, which is okay. But you're putting the vibration out there that you're ready, that you are exploring this, and that's great. So it's a lot of it's a lot of self involvement coming, which is great. So basically, it's just one at a time. But as for fort density worldwide, what matters most is that you are evolving. The rest of the world, well, it will get easier for you to be here. What's going to be even more fascinating is when more of this becomes more popular. Fort density, you'll be opening a door and closing it. It'll come and go, but still, you make reality a lot more wild, and it'll intrigue a lot of people. A lot of people will just turn away and just say, "Oh, that's just fake, water. You're just making all this up." But some of them are just it's a weaker soul, you can say, in some cases, not all. They're just not willing to open up the shades, basically. But everybody's spiritual. It's everybody is everybody. I mean, everybody's a soul. Let's put it that way, and it just takes time for the soul to exercise itself, really remember itself. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, I have other connections I was going to do about World War II. We'll do that some other night. We've gone on quite a bit. Yeah, it's the max night. It's okay. This other stuff can wait. It'll be okay. It's been waiting this long. It'll be all right. Mostly during the weekends, I'll probably just do. I want to do give you an idea what's coming up. On Friday, I'm just going to upload a regular video I shot earlier. Oh, I have another one I forgot to put up. I got one I got to process. I forgot. After this, I'll do that. Because I did a video Sunday in a park. But Saturday and Sunday, I'm just going to do a Zoom video. It won't be live. Basically, we won't have any live videos for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Because the internet's not going to be very good. But either way, I'll probably do an hour video for both of them. So, either way, you'll still get something. It just won't be live, that's all. And then Monday, we'll be back to normal. So, it's a Memorial Day weekend, so I'm going to take it easy, but I'm also going to secret mission stuff. I'll get back to you on what's going on. Just don't worry about it. It'll be all good. Let's see, for Max, let's see here. Interesting. Disney, the Disney parks, the CIA ran, of course. That was, of course, Walt's. Understand, for Walt to get money to build these things, he had to give in, sign a lot of deals. Well, he wasn't always aware of who he was signing deals with. A lot of shadow government corporations that seem legit, but were not. So they have infiltrated Disney a long time ago. He needed money to build these parks. They already do it in a slight way with the movies, but not really. They'll let him do his thing. But when the parks started to come into the idea of it, it's like, that's where we can get everybody. If there is Disney stuff, like during Eisner's time, Michael Eisner's time, yes, there's a lot of cryptic. A lot of those artists were just totally like satanic, is what he's saying. A lot of them were Satan worshippers that were doing these things for kids, and they were not very friendly either. Of course, Disney's not able to catch all of them, basically. Not necessarily your child molesters, but it wasn't good stuff. There's a lot of stuff they don't want to make known, of course. But it does seem like a lot of Like the shareholders of Disney are shadow elites, not gonna make themselves known. Most likely not. But a lot of them are running. It's like we own a lot of this, and so their influence is heavy. Basically, they want to get the kids. Obviously, they want to sexualize the kids. They want to make them lost. That's where they do it. Disney is a programmer of just taking your child, the innocence, making them materialistic, sexualizing them, whatever they can, to make the child as confused as possible. To look a certain way, be a certain way, and for most part, do not connect to their selves. They want them as depressed as possible, from what I'm gathering. That's another thing I was going to go into, but we'll go into this first. They want them as depressed as possible because they become reliant on drugs, and they're easy to manipulate when they're under drugs. Notice how everybody's on something these days? That's one. Is to keep you under hypnosis. Because they do see with technology is like the aliens are helping humanity awaken. And they want to counter that. It's like, no, we're going to weaponize your humans by making them atomic bombs themselves. We want you to blow up, basically. And this is my connection. This is my I was going to mention this when we talked about parasites and all that. I didn't mention this. I forgot about it. No, how can you forget about something like this? But I was possessed by a dark entity since I was a child. Till I was at psychic circle in 2014, and of course we all asked for tests. Obviously, I think it was another test I asked for. It does make you aggressive, makes you very depressed and self-destructive. I had a lot of that as a kid. Basically, what I got from that, because I had to experience this stuff because other people were going through it, I released it. Through a candle, through meditation, it's gone. It was creepy as hell. It was like a father to me. It's probably since I was a kid. How I found it, I don't remember. I don't need to go into details. It was basically telling me things that were just personal about somebody that was in the group, and I was telling my mentor about it. It's like, I don't know. I came from a positive direction. It's like I don't know where you're connecting to, but that's not. You better, it's like you're going to drown or something. You keep delving into this. It doesn't seem like there's something dark around you. And he said that. It's like I'm not going into too much detail. It's like, holy shit. And I felt something around me when he said that. It scared the living hell out of me. I was not expecting that. I was coming from a positive direction. It's like, hey, I'm reading this from this person. Oh, I had a dream about somebody, I believe. Something like that. It's like, that's something that's not good. It's like, about time I figured this out. Because I knew something was going on, but I didn't quite understand it. It was a being that was around me for a long time. It's very spooky. But what I got from this is that these beings, they want you to, like reptilians, greys, whatever it is that doesn't like you. Spirit guide. They want you to self-destruct. Notice how people are easy to just beat themselves up? They want you to, the aliens, they can't harm you. They can energy screw around with you, but they can't really harm you. Because if that was the case, well, we wouldn't be here right now. But what they can do is influence you and have you destroy yourself. A lot of that's Anunnaki, but you can get help from others to get rid of yourself. So I believe I went through this to experience it, what others are experiencing. Because now I know why people are like jumping off cliffs and stuff. Not to say I was going to do that, but in some cases I did have that feeling. So they don't like me talking about this. Well, that's screw them. But why do you think people try? They kill themselves for no reason and all that. It's just they have something attached to you, and it's very, very quiet. Man, let me tell you, it is. You have no idea that this thing was around me. So, Anyway, it's gone now. It was like from Romania. It was because when I talked about the parasite stuff, that was like on top. Like I already have an entity on me that I didn't know anything about, and I got other things grabbing on me. It's like, jeez. So anyway, I don't have any of that anymore. But yeah, it's basically I said the reason I went through that is to experience it without it just going through. So it's a lot more than that from what I'm gathering. Great. That's great. More. Good. That's good. So that tells you, it gives an idea of what people are. I mean, if you're not ready for this stuff, I mean, these are lower energies. They just sponge themselves on you. If you're not ready for that, how can you be ready for aliens and angels, for that matter? If you're just gonna connect your Xbox and shut up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with video games or entertainment here. That's fine. It's just if you think that's all there is, think again. It doesn't mean you have to look into the message to everything. It's like this video game means this, it means that, whatever. You know, you don't have to make your life hard. It's just so much a lot of Star Trek. I know it's bad. I guess I'm trying to remember my alien lifetime. My Trek. You know, it's funny. Star Trek, The Next Generation. I feel felines. I just feel a lot of feline adventures. I know they're all humanoid in Star Trek, but I keep getting this feline. And it's a lot more insane than it is in the shows. But anyway, it's all good. So I think The Next Generation got a lot more talky and boring and just soap opera. So anyway, but there is some stuff there that's quite fascinating. I keep seeing felines there. So anyway, of course there's others, but anyway, and just just so you know, like Star Trek is the humanoids. The Lyrans have humanoids also, so that's where a lot of Star Trek stuff. There's a little bit of both. There's feline and human, so it's probably like the Klingons are kind of like the felines in some cases. But I believe that humans and felines are all on the same ship, basically. That's basically what I'm getting to. So, anything last words from Max? I think it's said enough. There's more. He's been really. He's not letting everything out of the bag. It's this little stuff here and there. It'll come through again eventually, but I have other subject matters I need to go into. But I felt that, I'm going to do a video about Eisenhower. That seems to be, like with the Greys and Roswell. It's coming up. And World War II. With Hitler, I was going to go into a different point of view of that. Oh yeah, that's right. What happened in London with the girl singer Ava Grande, or whatever her name is. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. I know I did it a little bit in the webinar, but I'm going to give it a little bit more. From what I'm feeling, this is something that's happened to her before. Sometimes she gets disconnected and just becomes like disconnected from reality. I think some people were carrying her around or something like that. She didn't want to walk. So having an event like that, notice how she walked out of that unscathed. I believe it was like right in front of her, right? Something like that. It's horrible. So it's like the souls there that I believe it was an agreement there, but she just was not learning. She needed to wake up. As for the souls that died, they were prepared. They knew what was coming. The soul did. I mean, the conscious soul didn't. I had no idea. But I believe also that died. Those that died during that was like 22. I believe there was quite a those were old souls. Meaning, I don't think they were really here for very long. But it wasn't just for her. They had their own reason for being here. It wasn't all about her. But with her, it's just she comes in his world. She's like a queen, and it's like she just becomes nobody wants to be around her. So I mean, yeah, because she's rich, but they don't want to like know her. It's like it's very bizarre. Just very reptilian. I see a lot of insectoid with her actually. But yeah, it's a horrible. What happened there is just terrible. But the way we're looking at it is, this stuff can be prevented if more would be more positive here. I mean, worldwide. Good luck on that, but you never know. It's just, the news disinforms you. It does not inform you. It disinforms you. It's turning you into the agenda to cause these things. You're not being informed. You're weaponizing yourself, it feels like. It's like we're just making this world more toxic. If they were more positive and not talking about news at all and just working with the vibrations of the planet to be more positive, if you are negative, we can work on that. But it's just, we think we're informing ourselves, but instead we are just making things worse. Now you can look at the news and not send out angry, positive energies, which many do. Many are sending their rage, as you can tell. But we're all getting hit by it. Just when you look at it, even if you don't watch the news, it doesn't matter. And those that do not watch are transmuting a lot of it, trying to tone down the negativity, trying to tone down the anger here. So smoking pot, whatever, sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever, trying to calm down the negativity here. Because there's many here that are, feels like insectoid. Yeah, that energy is pretty heavy here, actually. They're humanoid. And some of them here with great rage. Because it does seem like some of them do want to rule the world. Gathering. Have it go their way. It's like they're reenacting what happened on their planet. To some cases. Man, there's so much here we don't understand. That is part of the case. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But they're here as humanoids. They want to be informed, supposedly. But they also want the world to go in their direction they want to. What direction that is? For them to be dominant. They're not saying, I'm not getting a clear indication who this is or what that means exactly. It has nothing to do with the elite. It's just some kind of hidden agenda that comes through eventually. Alright, well, I might forget. One moment. That is... Come on, Max, give me some assistance here, or somebody. I've been kind of quiet on it. Yeah, there's negative insectoids that are here as humans. That are part of the terrorist groups that are sacrificing themselves. Yeah, that's what I believe it's mostly in the terrorist groups. That's how they blow themselves up with no problem. That's insectoid energy. So it's mostly the terrorist groups are very insectoid, not all, but a good amount. Notice how they all kind of the same to some degree in some cases. And that's something I look at very often. But it's like it's the insectoid agenda against humanity to a certain extent. It's mostly the terrorist groups, which is kind of fascinating. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, it's they have a lot of insectoid. They want to dominate the planet, as you can tell. Under Allah or whoever it might be. ISIS is very insectoid. In some ways, you can see that in their symbolism. Yeah, it's insectoids. It's not just insectoids, of course, not at all. But it has a good amount of insectoid energy there. So that's where that's coming from. And there are groups here that are enforcing it. Obviously, they're not a part of it, but there's like, yeah, go for it, keep doing it. That's what I'm saying. And it's not all insectoid, but it is quite a bit. And they are humanoid, and they are, they're us. They're incarnated here. They don't really realize that what they're connected to. Obviously, that's one way of. Jeez. There's so much more that we don't understand. It's just. But that's what everybody, the more you awaken, there's just so much information out there, but it does help healing of the world. It's like, it's like healing a scab. It's like you're just healing this. Yeah, feel something. Yeah, the more we dive in, the more some of these negative beings will be seen, like reptilian or whatever it might be, Anunnaki. And I'm not sure about seeing physically, but third density. I mean, through the third eye, you'll feel it. Yeah, because they don't want they don't want their plans to be known. But it is, it's time, little by little. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of negative agendas within the U.S. government, of course. Not just them, of course, no. No, they're all interconnected. All the governments, it's pretty much one world government already. We're just not seeing it that way. Pretty much. And they're pretty much all against us. Pretty much. Oh, I mean, not all. There is positive there, of course. But there is pretty much, I mean, the cabal is pretty much a one world government. So. But they do have their different points of view, yes. But they know how people are not seeing the full picture correctly. The more angry, the better. They'd rather you're angry, because when you become nice and friendly, well, that pisses them off even more. Because it's like, then you want to make peace. It's like, they don't want that. They want you mad. They want you paranoid. The less paranoid you are, they might as well just they might as well just give up now. But a lot of people here are paranoid, right? About the elites, Illuminati, whatever it is. They're all pissed off quite a bit. It's the wrong direction. Obviously. I mean, I've said that before in the past. It is the wrong direction because it just fuels them. The more paranoia you have, the more worse this place is. I mean, it's, the more bombers you get and stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously we're not perfect, but just to the rage. I mean, you're gonna have some, of course, because we're all still living in this. But the more calm down you become, the more simplified everything becomes too. And all the craziness of what the spirit, what's going on comes through. It's like sectoids, grays, angels having issues with each other. I feel a lot of that. Your guide's not getting along. You feel more of that. It's just like, just opening up the package. A lot of guides do not get along from what I'm feeling right now. Sometimes they become complacent, but sometimes not always. I mean, they get along, but man, yeah, I do feel that. Depends. Some people are if you're very like cool and calm, most likely your guys are getting along. If like stressed out, like most likely your guys are not getting along either. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. While I'm here, I can connect easier. While I'm out in the real world, I can't connect to anything. I can to a certain degree, but here and there. When I'm at work, no. Like, I'm 3D, and that is where I need to be. There rhymes. Look at that. But, I mean, I guess I can diffuse a lot of negativity, diffuse my own negativity, frustrations, whatever it is. Like, this is where it needs to be for right now. It's not here forever. Moving to bigger and better things just takes time. It takes time to build up to that. And that's one for everybody. As for the money situation, like worldwide, let's see here. It's different for everybody, obviously. I don't see a world. The money system, because people act about this all the time, which is fine. It's going to go up and down. There might be some scares here and there around December, but not up any worry to it. There's going to be no financial quiet. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I do see fake ones, though. Hysteria. I think we had that last year to a certain degree. Don't worry about it. Like China, there's going to be hysteria around September. Don't worry about that. There's going to be a lot of fake stuff. They're going to be a lot of scares. They're going to say, oh, China's going to go down. Da, da, da. I do feel a lot of that. they're trying to manipulate the markets so they can lower the stock market, buy stuff, and then when it goes up, they make buco bucks. So that's where a lot of that it's been going on already. I feel around mostly September. I'm not feeling around the summertime. Well, I didn't just go up and down recently, but not. I'm feeling a big scare coming, but like I said, don't worry about it. I feel that, like the retail, they're gonna conjure up. They're gonna make something up. They want people frustrated. They just want people at a low vibration. They want you to self-destruct. And obviously, money situation. If you have money in the stock market, you're gonna self-destruct really quickly. But I wouldn't put any worry into it. It's you'd be surprised how it does seem like there's a lot of, obviously it's going to go up and down. There's a lot of protections around it right now, more than I've ever. I mean, of course, I haven't been doing this for a long time. I can tell you around. I know we're going to go into some money stuff. Ben Bernanke, before the 2008 crisis, I had a very spooky feeling about him. If you're into financial markets, you look him up. He ran the Federal Reserve. Just Federal Reserve Ben Bernanke, if you can pronounce that. I felt not comfortable with him. And then 2008 happened. So now the other lady came in, did not feel that, and I don't feel it now. I think it's gonna be all right. That's my feeling on it. Now, like I said, there's gonna be scares here and there. Don't worry about it. Like I said, money manipulators are all around. You're gonna be crying wolf a lot. Just the way it goes. China, from what I'm feeling, is being stabilized. I know some people is like, oh, it's not gonna last. I think it's gonna last. They're gonna find a way to make it work. They want us to awaken. They want us out of this spot. Not to say the whole world is going to transform anytime soon. But there is a lot being worked on right now to keep our money systems not perfect, but from a big collapse, like what happened in 2008. They're preventing a lot of that right now. I don't think China is going to collapse anytime soon. I mean, I would say like 10 years. Now, that's true, things do change. That's true, like I felt with Trump and all that. But obviously 10 years is a long way to think about, but I'm not seeing anything happen. What I feel is like a Palladian grid around it, our money system assisting us. I don't see a new currency coming. They're working with the dollar as the best they can. I don't see that being changed. Obviously things change, but I think it's going to be alright for the most part. You know, France does seem like it's going to go up and down. There's going to be some stuff happening in France, unfortunately. You know, from the, not money-wise, but terrorist groups, unfortunately. It's a target. Possibly that will happen again in the near future, unfortunately. Obviously, because there have been some stuff. It's terrible. Istanbul, that's in Turkey, has enforced their guard there, so they're not going to get hit as much as you might. It's still unstable there for a terrorist attack, unfortunately. Back to the money system. Let's see here. I don't know why I saw Dan Rather for a second. Somebody might be remote viewing me right now and showing Dan Rather is a hideout, hide behind that. I don't know what that is. I guess others are picking up on my vibration from what I'm seeing. Dan Rather, what is that? I don't want to know. Anyway, I think I said enough about the money situation. The more you worry about it, the more so again, I won't worry about it. As for world money situation, it does seem like there's going to be whistleblowing coming on. I think it's always going to happen, but it does seem like it's going to increase this year. Feels like about before the end of the year. The Pizzagate thing happened, but I think something else is going to happen. Possibly before the end of the year. Not Pizzagate. That's going to be like that. It's not going to be like that, Not all Pizzagate is false. There are some real things there. A lot of it is to deter you, but you'd be surprised what there's truths and not truths there. Hillary Clinton, not to be trusted. Of course, any politician. It does seem like a lot of their souls get switched, meaning other entities need to possess them to do things they normally would not do, but they have their name written all over it. So, happens. Yeah, welcome to the real world. Yeah, well, we gotta grow up eventually, and it's weird. It's interesting. It's weird. It's very weird. That's fourth density for you. It is on crack. It's fascinating. Just the more you connect with it, the more easy it'll get, more balanced. But when you start connecting to it the first time, it's like, what am I talking? What are you talking about? So obviously you can't see this stuff. Eventually it will, but more people have to awaken for it to happen. That's not to say that things will not show up here and there. You know, ships will appear. It doesn't mean there won't be cracks in our reality. So anyway, all right. I've said enough. I gotta get out of here. I've been up since 6 o'clock, and tomorrow's kind of busy at work. So all right, blessings everyone. Thank you for being part of this. Much appreciate everyone that donated, private sessions, things of that sort. Yeah, feel free to share all this to whoever. Normal is boring, real is real, real is more interesting. This is the real world. There'll be more from Max eventually, and we'll have to keep a calm on that because there's other stuff I want to go into. So, but that will come in here and there when needed. Oh yeah, there's something about a telepathic chair, which is kind of fascinating. I think Max Spiers brought that up. We'll go into more stuff like that. There's only so much I can do in one night. So, all right, blessings everyone. Take care and have a great rest of your week. Blessings.